Not much.
I thought you were taking the day off.
No, hey man. Do you think charter schools drain money from public schools?
I think they could if they try to expand them beyond what they're doing right now. That's certainly a real possibility.
You think there's a danger? Or?
Well, I mean, you want to strike a balance. I mean, I understand charter schools are here. They're not going anywhere.
That helps.
But I also believe that the number one tool that we have for educating our children in the state is public education.
Okay.
And until we see charter schools doing as good or better job than a public school, then we can never turn our back on them.
Okay. So you don't think there is much of a difference between a charter school and public school?
No, I think there is. What I'm saying is until we can see a marked difference between a charter school and a public school in terms of doing a better job overall, and I'm talking across the board, and you can say, well, charter schools are good for it. But one of the problems that I have
this guy's a good guy.
Yeah, no,
this guy's a great guy.
That's inherent to charter schools is that the danger of picking and choosing your students becomes a reality. In other words, if you want your charter school to be, I don't know what a rating would be for a charter school. Let's say we invented ratings. Great, not so great. You start picking and choosing your students. And that's a danger to, let's say you have dyslexia, or I have dyslexia. Maybe they don't want you because a kid with a learning disability might lower out the average and hurt that teacher, hurt that class, and hurt the school. And so we can develop a pattern of excluding students via the charter system that normally should and would get a good education in a public school. So until you show me a model of a charter school that's going to treat all students equally and not be picking and choosing winners and losers, and I'll tell you, maybe charter schools are the way to go, but I haven't seen that yet.
I've heard of charter schools that do specifically accept students despite disabilities.
There's some, but
for instance, those with Alzheimer's, or not Alzheimer's.
No, with autism.
There we go.
And
there we go.
And I was going to make that example. There's certain needs that public schools have a very difficult time filling, and one of them, and this is in the smaller districts, not so much the big ones. And I represent 14 school districts, but they're all pretty small. I think the big, I say small. Are you familiar with school districts in San Antonio?
No, not particular.
Ours would be like in Del Rio and Eagle Pass. That would be the size of Harlandale. It's like 14,000 members. That's the biggest in the district.
Okay.
Even a school district that size in that county has a difficult time providing for an autistic student. They're starting to the curve's a little steep, but they're getting to it. But now jump to a school district that's got 4,000, 5,000 kids. They can provide good attention because of teacher class size, but in terms of materials and resources, it becomes a little more difficult. I think in a model like that, and I've got friends that have autistic kids. One of them's got his kid in a public school, and they do all right in that district. And I don't know if that's the exception or the rule, but they do all right in that district. And I have another friend that's got his kid in a private school. It's not a charter school, it's a private school. And of course, it's geared more towards that. And then I've heard you mentioned some charter schools that cater specifically to that kind of disability. So, like I said, I think there's a place for them, but not at the risk of endangering public ed.
I see.
That's a stance. One is I'm a former school board member, but it's rooted in the type of district that I represent. Like we're not ever going to be DISD. It just doesn't work for us. So maybe it works in a more urban setting. We don't have that. I mean, I'm one of the last true rural representatives in this state.
There are not that many.
Anyway.
Yeah.